said every relationship ever is just a man constantly having to improve.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, finally, a man that said it. Progress of them from the beginning before they got into this relationship to when they got into the relationship to the during and then a little after when they started to accomplish things together. It's like, bro, you're really unfucking grateful. The very person that is helping you get to where you're at right now and you're shitting on them in my ear.
Exactly. Okay, go watch that whole video from a mutual. I'm linking the video here. It's so funny to me that men complain that women expect them to constantly do better and be better and grow and evolve. Like, what do you think we're doing here? Like, I've said this before, so many men see marriage as the finish line. Like, I'm done. I did it. I did it all. I got the girl. I convinced her to marry me. Or, whatever. I dragged it on and gave her a shut up ring so that I could keep getting her labor for free so she doesn't leave me even though I hate her. But either way, men complain all the time that we're just never satisfied. That, we just nag and then we're just never satisfied. And you know what? I know that there is some tiny bit of validity to that. As somebody who is chronically codependent, part of my deal is that I can be really impatient and really mean and judgmental and all that stuff if I'm not getting, the progress that I need when I need it now. And a lot of that is codependency, right? Like I'm only okay when he starts blah, 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 fill in the blank. That right there is codependency. So I have to constantly check myself because I can be so unrealistic in terms of like what I think maybe my husband needs to work on. But a lot of times it's literally just because I don't want to deal with myself. I don't want to there's a long list of things that I should be doing to take care of myself, but instead I'm going to hyper focus on what this man is doing. So I know that is an issue in relationships. It absolutely comes up. Especially if a woman like me was raised in a family where I just never really felt safe or seen or heard or anything. Like I'm so used to drama and I'm so used to being scared and I'm so used to being on edge that even if everything's fine, which it usually is actually totally fine, I'm like, what's next? And I create drama, okay? I know that is something that exists in a lot of relationships. That's not what I'm talking about here. And that's not what most women are talking about. What most women are talking about is men who are pissed that we expect them to evolve at all. Especially the ones these dads, it's like mothers, of course their whole life is going to change, but dads are like, what? What do you mean I have to give up my weekends sometimes to parent? I thought my life was going to stay the same and only hers was going to change. No, bro, you decided to be a dad, so that should change your life, not just hers. Same with marriage. A lot of men are like, oh, cool, now I got some burst to do everything for me. No, that's not what women want. Maybe what you saw your mom do, but we're not doing that. The whole point of relationships is that you mirror each other. You hold a mirror up to each other and you help that person see things that they didn't even see in themselves, right? Mostly good stuff, and they build on that. And I didn't realize so many things about myself until my husband literally is always like, oh my God, you're so la la. I'm like, really? I didn't know that. I am getting to know myself through all this amazing crap that my husband sees that I don't see. And so then I build on that and I grow with that, and and I do the same thing with him. He doesn't see a lot of things in himself that I see. That stuff is good. But a lot of men are like, yeah, but I don't want to do anything. And they have, this is why I do so many videos on all these men whose careers just go, psh, right? They just shoot for the moon. Who do you think is behind that? A lot of times it's their wife in their ear being like, babe, you're so good at this. You should do this. And they push them to do better because they believe in these men. And they know what they're capable of. And a lot of men are so lazy. They're so lazy. They don't want to do anything. And so when their wives push them to do something more, not just for themselves, but for their whole family, they're just like, good. And then they end up doing it. And then they get all the benefits of it. And then they're still pissed that someone is pushing them. Honestly, the fact that we have to push them at all is so freaking annoying. We got to be your cheerleader too. You should be our cheerleader, right? Like, I cheer my husband on, but he's my number one fan. He's cheering me on all the time. Every time I want to give up, he's like, no, babe. You know, like he gives me pep talks, especially as a woman online who gets bullied all day. Some days worse than others. Not just bullied by men either. A lot of women are just like, you're screeching. I get that every day. At least 2 or 3 comments a day. Oh, I love your content. I just wish you didn't talk like that. Trying to tone police me, tell me all about my face, my hair, like whatever, saying mean crap to shut me up and get me in line, right? So I get bullied all day. My husband is the person in my ear being like, no, babe, la, 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 right? And I do that for him too, in all the ways to try to build him up. And so many men are like, God, I wish you'd just leave me alone and let me just suck. Just let me be a lazy piece of crap who doesn't do anything. God, I hate this woman who believes in me. Like, bro, your life is so good because somebody believes in your pathetic ass. And instead of being grateful that this woman does all this free labor for them and loves them so hard, I don't even know if it's love though sometimes. It's just codependency and limerence, okay? Because a lot of women don't know how to love either, okay? All we know is to sacrifice and martyr ourselves, and that isn't love. Unless it's for a child or a dog. But it meant like my mutual was saying, like, you know, that they couldn't be friends with these men anymore. Or just like their lives are so good as a result of having these cheerleaders who push them. And they're like, gosh, it's a nag. So disrespectful, so ungrateful, so entitled. It would be nothing without these women. And so a lot of women, maybe when they hit 40 or 50, are like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I do everything for this dude. He doesn't cheer me on. He just exploits me. I don't even know myself anymore because he's just a king baby who just sucks off mommy's right? And then women finally at the age of 50 get to go out and become the woman they were meant to be. They couldn't be because they were exhausted by these men they've been pouring into who hated them for building them up. Build-A-Bear men. So do not date men who are not your cheerleader too, who are not pushing you in like healthy ways and who don't respect all the love and the cheering on that you do for them. If they don't respect that and they just complain about it and push back against it all the time. And again, like I said, sometimes, especially if we have codependency, we're obsessed with everyone else to avoid ourselves. Okay, so I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but what I'm saying is usually in patriarchy with men like that dude at the beginning, who are these like middle-aged entitled babies, they just want a mom. They don't want a partner. And then they also like hate this mom-like figure. Here's them on. Men do not respect you when you sacrifice them. They actually hate you for it. Stop sacrificing for men. Stop pouring into men who don't pour back into you. It will never go in your favor. And then you will feel dead inside like they are. Will exhaust you. They're vampires. They're parasites. It's like having a tapeworm in you. And then when you have nothing left to give and you're exhausted, they'll cheat on you anyway. And then finally at the age of 50 or 45 or something, women will finally leave these men and discover themselves and cut men out of their lives and let women pour into them. And then they'll get a taste of what they should have been experiencing all along. If a man is not your cheerleader as much, if not more than you are his, he will exhaust you and even possibly unalive you through your nervous system, because there's nothing worse than being stressed out, hate yourself, walking on eggshells around a moody king baby who never stops breastfeeding. You deserve better than that, and these men don't even appreciate you when you do all that crap. Stop doing it. You don't owe them shit.